You've got the Sony A7 R5. You know it's an amazing camera, but trying to understand all those menus and setting options, man, that's frustrating. 1 minute, your photos come out like this. Then you change one setting and they look like this. I feel your pain because I've been there. In this video, I'm going to give you 5 must-have camera settings that will instantly improve your shooting experience. These will make your camera easier to use, help you take better photos, and give you more control, so you can focus on what really matters, capturing great shots. Let's get straight into it. By the way, these settings also work on other Sony A7 cameras. Just make sure it's got the new menu system. You're taking pictures at a big event. Maybe it's your daughter's or your granddaughter's wedding, your son's graduation or something. You get the picture. The room goes deathly quiet and suddenly there's a big plunk from your shutter. The whole crowd turns around and looks at you. You don't want to be that guy. That's where setting your camera into silent mode is a lifesaver. Let me show you how to do it. Go to the shooting menu, then go across into the menu and down to number 6, which says shutter silent. Then go across into silent mode settings, and you can turn the silent mode to on. And that's it. Now your camera is ready to shoot in silent. Now there are a couple of problems with shooting in silent mode. One is you often get banding, particularly if you're shooting under artificial lights like fluorescent lights. Another problem is you can't use an external flash. So you will have to switch back to mechanical shutter if you find you're having problems. So I highly recommend take a test shot first and make sure it looks okay. Now if you do shoot in silent mode, it will turn off the focus beep as well. Now if you're not shooting in silent mode, those focus beeps can be really annoying. It can also be quite disruptive, especially if you're doing wildlife or a big event like before. So let's turn them off. So go to the setup menu, scroll across and then go down until you get to option number 9, which is the sound option. Now you have to scroll across and go to audio signals, select that, and now you can turn those on or off. So let's turn them off, and now you won't get those annoying focus beeps. Now let's turn our attention to picture quality. You bought this new prime lens, 85mm f1.4. It produces beautiful images, but now you look at it, there's all sorts of banding and other exposure issues with it. What's gone wrong? Well, Sony cameras have an electronic front curtain shutter. Now the big advantage of that is it prevents any shutter lag. The drawback is it can sometimes create problems like banding and your exposures not coming out the way you anticipated. So the easiest thing to do is to turn that off. Here's how you go about it. Go back to the shooting menu and then again scroll down to option 6, which is shutter silent. Scroll across and the third option there is the E front curtain shutter. Select that and now you can turn that to off. So you come to take your next shot. You've got it perfectly in focus. You press the shutter button and the camera refocuses. What's all that about? It's now ruined your shot because it didn't focus on what you wanted. There is an easy way around this. If you haven't used back button focus, I highly recommend it. And here's how you set it. To set up back button focus, the first thing you need to do is stop your camera focusing when you press the shutter. You need to go to the AF/MF menu, the focus menu. Scroll across and then scroll in the options and down to the bottom one, which is AF with shutter, and you need to turn that to off. Having done that, we need to tell the camera which button to use to focus. The obvious one is to use the AF button. So now we need to go into the setup menu. So go down to the bottom one, go across and look for the menu item, Operation Customize. You can then scroll across to the custom key dial set, select that, and you see you get a nice little image of the different things on the back of your camera. And number 2 could be autofocus on. So we'll select that one, come out of the menu to take a picture. If you press on the autofocus, that's the thing it'll use. So you can track it across, and that's pressing that button is what will give you focus. By the way, if you're looking for more expert photography tips, why not download my free ebook, 50 Tips to Improve Your Photos. There's a link in the description. So you've taken a bunch of epic shots and you want to send them to your friends and family who couldn't attend the wedding. What better way to do it than transfer them to your phone, post them on Facebook, for example. It's very easy to do with Sony cameras. You just need to connect your phone to your camera. First thing you'll need to do is download the Sony Creators app. Once you've downloaded the Creators app, you'll need to add your camera to it, and you do that by going to this icon here with a little camera symbol, and then the icon at the top with the plus next to the camera. And it gives you a list of cameras. Find the model number that is relevant to yours. Let's choose the A7 R4. And it'll tell you to check that the software on your camera is up to date. Say it's okay. And then it talks you through the process of connecting your camera. In this icon here, the camera with the little menus, it'll show you that the cameras that it's got already installed on your app. And you see in my case, it's got the A7 R5. So now we can move on to transferring photos to our camera. Then on your camera, go down to the network menu and across to the first option on the menu, which is basically connect or use a remote shutter. Then you go to smartphone connection. If you've got the app installed, you connect the camera through the app and it will connect via Bluetooth. And when it's done that, you can now use your phone to do all the controls. To transfer photos to your phone, you need to go down to select on camera and send. You've got an option of selecting just this image, the one you've just taken, all the images with this date, or any particular condition you like, or you can manually select them, which is the one I would normally use. Go into manual select, and now it'll take you through the photos that you've got, and to select one, simply press in the middle dial, and you see a tick comes up, and that's one it'll select. So every time you press that, it'll select those photos. Once you've done, press the menu button again, and it'll execute. If you press enter, now it'll send the photos to your phone. And there you have it, 5 settings that will completely change the way you shoot with your Sony A7 camera and take away some of those frustrations. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Are there any particular aspects that you're frustrated with, or any great tips that you want to share with the rest of us on how to get more out of your Sony camera? Please add them to the comments. Now, if you want to level up your skills even more, what I recommend you watch next is this video on focus bracketing. Don't forget to grab a copy of my free ebook, 50 Tips to Improve Your Photography. There's a link in the description, and I look forward to seeing you next time.